Hello guys, I'm so excited that finally I have just received my new book, The Bible of Bodybuilding. It's a book that consists of 400 pages. You can purchase this book on Amazon, and this book contains my former books, The PDs Used in Sports and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, plus the Training, Nutrition, Supplementation, but also including extra features, Q&As about gear, about HRT, but also a quiz regarding supplements, diet, and of course PEDs. So the Bible of Bodybuilding on Amazon, both on ebook and Kindle version.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, brought to you by his book, The Bible of Bodybuilding. Look how big this thing is. Gives you everything you need to know. Tells you all about training, nutrition, supplementation, PEDs, everything, all the knowledge you need to get your best physique. And while you're on Amazon, pick up my book, Real Bodybuilding, Muscle Truth, from 25 years in the trenches. It's actually been closer to 40 years at this point. And now, all the way from Athens, Greece, please welcome the Dr. George Touliatos. Hey, doctor.
Hello, Ron. I'm glad that you finally got the Bible. I hope you enjoyed, even though you have already read the 90% of this from the other books, you know. And also Steve and Rick has a book.
Yeah.
And now, as about me, it's week number 14. I'm at my lightest weight at 12.5 now, you know, and I'm around 9% body fat. If I drop below 200, that's the target. Perhaps I'll go down to 6-7 body fat. And if I had to compete, I decided just to use for the final 4 weeks year only. Okay. So 1 bottle of Trend, 1 bottle of Winstrol, 1 bottle of Master, 1 bottle of testosterone propionate, and 1 bottle of Primo Bola. That's all. And I don't care about the results. So that's all I'm going to do. And 100 pills of Manavar. That's all.
Okay.
I'm not going to push it further. I'm going to be as dry as I can until that day, 4 weeks out, and then this gear a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We shall see.
Cool. Yeah. You know who I'm interviewing today is Per Bernal, your photographer.
Per Bernal has this 3D project online, but hopefully, I don't know, maybe after Columbus, after the Arnold Classic, I'll take the plane to LA and stay in his place and do the shooting in Marina del Rey. I don't know. We shall see. Wow. He told me that he no longer does photo shooting on the shows. He has no contract with the magazines. He used to actually shoot even Mike K, you know, at the Olympia of 2012.
Oh, he shot so many Olympias, so many
everybody.
Classics.
I heard also from models Frank Sepe.
He was even he was under contract with World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, and he shoots all those people. He did for many years. He's a good friend of Dolph Lundgren, the actor.
Yeah, Samir also has a good relationship.
Yeah, Per's been around a while. He's been around even longer than me, I think, which is hard to believe. But yeah, he's been in the business forever. Hey, doctor, we got some great questions from our, I was going to say readers, but they're viewers. I'm still stuck in that magazine era. So this is the first one. I think most of it's answered in your book, but let's get to it. The ultimate questions for both. So I'll get to this quick after you. The best anabolic androgenic steroid stack of your life for packing muscle in the off season, dosage, duration. And then he says the same thing for cutting phase for prep.
Well, we have a whole episode number 27 about this. It's 100,000 views already.
Yeah.
I have this on Muscular Development online, the cycles. I have them on the magazine and have them in the books. Okay, so briefly, I'm cutting the off season in 3 semesters for 3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Week 1 to 4, the first month, I'm choosing to use testosterone. This is the Sustanon because it gets rapidly. You need that kick.
Yeah.
Along with nandrolone decaonate, and oxymethylone. Then the second month, from week 5 to 8, I'm using testosterone cypionate with Equipose and Dianabol.
Yeah.
And the final semester, the week 9 to 12, I'm using testosterone anthate, trembolone anthate, and halotest. All the way for I use GH AM 4 p.m. This is extreme in order to get your pro card. Okay, I don't recommend this. Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
Okay, but I've heard that 1 gram for the nationals is something mandatory for the nationals, for the NPC, to week the Greek nationals, for the amateurs, you know.
Sure.
So 2 grams of test and another gram of gear, 3 grams of steroids per week is something that the pros are using, you know.
Yeah.
Now, Samir told me he was using only 500 milligrams. It was different at that time, you know. The bodies were way different. Anyway, and insulin, I guess, post-workout, 5 I use, and another 5 I use with your breakfast. Now, about the cutting, I switched the drugs gradually, starting from testosterone, enanthate, and primobolan. Okay, then I switched to testosterone propionate and trebolone acetate, and then I use suspension testosterone along with, suspension testosterone along with trebolone with insulin injectable.
Yeah.
And then I'm using Masteron because it doesn't aromatize, along with halotestina, Navarro, Winstrol, orals, you know. Providing all the way, both bulking and cutting, you know. A bit of lower of GH4 I use for the cutting. No insulin for the cutting, you know, phase.
Yeah. More
Literal ECA stack, you know, T3, all that stimulants.
Yep.
But it has to do with the switching the compounds, you know, from the ones that clear the system slower to the one that clear rapidly, you know.
Yeah.
And also I'm changing the compounds the off season and the esters in order to, let's say, avoid saturation of the receptors.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I wish I kept better records. I don't remember exactly, and people get mad at me. They think I'm either lying but I really never kept any. I never wrote anything down. I wish I had, but I used to do probably my most effective bulking cycles, and I wouldn't recommend this either, guys. It's too much. I would do 1 gram of test a week. I always like Sustanon or a blend. So I would do 1 gram of that and about 600 milligrams of Deca, or it would be Equipoise, one or the other. To me, they were equal, and 50 milligrams a day of Dianabol. I would do that for like 12 weeks, sometimes 16 weeks, put on a lot of water and some muscle. And the cutting, I think every contest prep stack I did was different, because like sometimes I could get certain things. Sometimes I could get Masteron, sometimes I couldn't. Sometimes I couldn't get Primobolan. It's whatever I could get, but it's all the same. Most guys use very similar stacks. Your book has examples of very, very typical competitive bodybuilder stacks for off-season, pre-contest. Most people don't do anything that different, I don't think. So, and it all works. So next one, let's ask both. Is your book available in digital edition so people could download it, Doctor?
Yeah, a book, absolutely, yes, all of it.
Yeah, it's 2021. My book is not, sorry guys. However, if you're a horror fan, if you like horror stories, I did write one called Evil X10. There's no spaces in between. That's where I screwed up, why people can't find it on search engines, but everywhere you can download books. It's very scary, very disturbing. But anyway, let's go back to medical and steroid questions. Dr. T, JAMA, Journal of the American Medical Association, published a meta-analysis claiming that high omega-3 consumption, more than 1 gram, increases the risk for developing atrial fibrillation. Will you stop using them, or will you decrease the amount of omega-3 fatty acids that you are using?
Now, this is funny because I made a research and I found another study that says the opposite, that omega-3 avoids the heart arrhythmia. But anyway, I'm taking krill oil with every meal, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm eating salmon at least once a week. So I get many benefits out of the omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids out of the fish oil. I'm taking also magnesium to avoid any arrhythmia because it has to do with the relaxation of muscle and also myocardium.
Yeah.
And avoid too much stimulants, So I hate to take pre-workout stuff. I prefer a black coffee, it's more healthy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, and I hate to use T4. I mean, I use the lowest dose of T4, which actually milder the heart than T3. And after 10 days, I have palpitations, which is nothing. 25 micrograms of T4. People are using 100,
Sure.
Or T3.
Right.
So, and I haven't used clenbuterol seriously for many years, more than 5 years. I don't need this thing anymore. It's so annoying, because apart from the headache over here, cervical, you just have this nasty palpitations, man.
My hands are when I was on Clem, my hands were always
shaking, trembling. Yes.
I felt like I had palsy or something. It was terrible. But yeah, I mean, it's too bad that Clen is so effective. It does work very, very well. That's why it's
also ephedrine. If your DHA is stuck, look like you're taking cocaine, man. You're so hyper. You have mania. I interrupt people. I don't let them talk. My mind goes from here to there,
Yeah.
I have this crisis, and I look like I'm stoned with coke.
Yeah. What's funny, there's like a clenbuterol shortage around. I don't know if it's the whole US or just my area, because like there's contests happening right now, amateur contests, and people are messaging me like, do you have any? Can you sell me something? Like, no, I don't have any clenbuterol because they can't find any right now, and they're all panicking. But oh well, it's one of those things. I think with COVID, there's shortages of everything now, even steroids and other drugs, performance enhancing drugs.
They're not enough for everybody.
Yeah, they can't make manufacturing, I guess, has been down in everything around the world because people aren't working. A lot of people aren't working. So, especially in the US, a bunch of lazy bums getting checks for sitting on their butts. Okay, here we go. Hey guys, been on 250 milligrams a week of test sip, 125 milligrams twice a week. So he splits it up for 3 months since blasting. Going to do calisthenics and cardio to lose fat. I've never had aromatization before. And now 12 weeks off a half gram of test, I'm getting itchy nipples. I have 3 AIs on hand and Proviron. What is the doc's opinion on how to use and for how long?
Well, if you have already itchy nipples, you better use
Tamoxifen.
Okay. Yeah. You have used enough aromatase inhibitor, but the point is, you already have to occupy the receptor in order to avoid extra estrogens to sit down over there. So just try 20 milligrams of Novadex until it leaves,
So, once you have that itchy sensation, it's not too late. You can reverse it with tamoxifen.
Yeah, but it's late because you shouldn't have developed that itchiness.
Yeah.
So that's why we should take from day one the aromatase inhibitor in order to avoid the synthesis of estrogens. Because some people say, okay, estrogens favor the growth and blah, blah, blah. But when you have established your vagina, it's nasty there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I've been so lucky, doctor, because I've
if you're going for a cycle, okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you're doing replacement therapy, who gives a fuck about the aesthetic part? You're just stressed. Now, if you wanna go to the swimming pool, to the beach, all right. But never crush your estrogen that much. It's not so healthy.
Yeah, it's terrible for your good cholesterol goes down.
So people say, in that picture you have a little bit of vagina. Who gives a shit about this? I want to have a healthy living profile. Yeah. Okay, so it's not about bodybuilding. I can suck my nipples to take it 20 minutes a day, but this is not healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a flip side. What you prefer? Now, if I would go for a show, perhaps I would do it, but not for now. Not anymore. It's not necessary.
Right. Yeah. It's so many guys just take anti-estrogens just all the time because they think
they don't care about the consequences. Besides, also erectile dysfunction with low estrogen.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these TRT clinics, a lot of places where guys are getting their drugs legally in the US, they'll write you a script for test and they automatically write you and give you the Aromacin or Arimidex, something like that.
But it depends on the dose. 1 milligram per week is not something bad.
Okay.
Better than nothing, but don't overdo it with a low dose of 200 milligrams, you know.
Yeah.
You're not going to aromatize too much of this dose, and better if you split it.
Gotcha. Okay. I love when questions come from people exactly my age. So this guy says, hi, doctor, I'm 52, ex-bodybuilder, still training, not as hard. I take testosterone 120 milligrams for TRT and DECA 100 milligrams and Anavar, he wrote 10 ml. It should be 10 milligrams a day. Can I put size on with this and will it damage my hairline?
Yes, because Anavar is this derivative. By putting size with Anavar, I hardly doubt it.
Yeah.
But Anavar is a strong anabolic, but it doesn't convert to estrogens. Unless now you combine this with testosterone or DECA, you know, but why not to use Dianabol that already aromatizes?
True. The thing, and sir, if you're watching this, when you say you're ex-bodybuilder and still not training as hard, why are you still trying to put on size? That's where I get kind of confused. If you're still trying to put on size, you are a bodybuilder. You're not an ex-bodybuilder.
Ex-competitive, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably what he means. So it's a total of, so if he's on 120 tests, that's 220 of the injectables and 10 milligrams a day, 70. So it's still less than 300 milligrams a week total of steroids. I don't know how much size you can put on with that. I guess it depends on your training, your rest, your diet too. It's hard to say. You know, I always say if you put on a lot of size already, it's very hard to put on any more size. Like I have guys saying, I'm 50 years old and I'm still making gains. I said, when did you start training? They go, well, I was 45. I go, that's why. You're still kind of in that.
It's not toasted yet.
Yeah, you're wait. If you started like me when you were 14 years old and now you're 52, yeah, you're not going to be getting.
And also, we have to clarify putting size means putting fat also. We're talking about lean body mass over here,
okay? Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll ask guys, send me a picture because they'll say, I'm 5'9", 260 pounds. I'll like, send me a picture and they're fat. They're just fat. But they think, you know, that's how I was for years. I would be like 240 to 245 and I thought I was so big, but fat. I was just a fat blob. Oh, it's terrible.
Tell you the truth, if I go back to episode number 1, you and I, now you look much leaner, you know.
Oh yeah, my face is like a pumpkin.
And also if I go with Connor, that you started a year before 2018.
Yeah.
You were much bulkier, you know, than now.
Yeah. I mean,
but I guess it was no GH back then, huh?
No GH. And I used to eat a lot of, I could say junk. Yeah. Because from like October or November, those fall and winter months, I'd always just bulk up and I'd eat cereal and cookies and ice cream at night. And yeah, it was terrible. But you know, when you're older, it doesn't make sense. It's not healthy to have a lot of body fat. It's very, very dangerous. Like I probably would have had, I might have had a heart attack by now if I kept doing that. Who knows? You know, I always knock on some wood. This is a really good question. SSRIs. Ron, Dr. T, are either of you still on SSRIs or did you stop? What was it like coming off with the withdrawal symptoms you experienced, if any?
I don't think so. There's a withdrawal symptom. You know, they're not so addictive like opiates, for instance, or benzos.
Yeah.
Or the volume that I used to search for it the day after, you know, in order to sleep.
Right.
Or to have a pain relief. But what I hate about SSRIs, the side effects is that you're totally castrated emotionally. This sucks, man. You don't give a fuck about any shit, you know? Yeah. Maybe the room burning, you just I don't know the word you say.
Yeah.
You don't give a damn about anything. No black, no white.
There's no high and there's no low. You're just
man. You're not you look like a I don't know what to say, like a
zombie. Like a zombie.
Yeah, like a zombie, yeah. And number 2, I don't like the side effects. You're deep, you know. So I remember I was about to finish the medical school. I had a crush with a girl and I was taking SSRIs. Man, I couldn't masturbate, you know.
Oh, damn. And you were
I was just 25, you know.
Oh, dude, that's terrible. Huh. So what were you on? What was the one you used? Prozac?
No, first was it was Lados, then was Seroxat, you know.
I don't know what those are.
It was the Prozac, yes, and then was the Seroxat. It's also very popular.
Yeah.
But you know, Ron, my life didn't go better with SSRIs. The problems still remain there. of course, sometimes no matter how you deal with the problems, but the problems still remain there, you know. And after years and years of facing, you know, the tragedies in your life, you start waking up, you know, and see, I won't let this thing to put me down, you know. After the death of my father, I said, no fucking woman can turn me down again, you know. This is minority shit compared to losing your dad, for instance, or my grandmother, you know.
Yeah.
But this comes after years, you know, and you learn your lessons, you know.
Yeah. So I had to go on. So I used to go to clubs and take ecstasy, probably from about 2000 to 2006. So 6 or 7 years, I used to go clubbing once or twice a month. And so my serotonin receptors eventually got destroyed. Because like a day after going out and being on that drug, a day or two after, I'd be just miserable. I'd have no energy. I'd be depressed. I just want to like crawl up in bed.
Yes.
So I went on Wellbutrin, which is a little purple pill. So I took that for about 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years maybe. And then I just decided I don't need it anymore. I don't remember any bad side effects really, but after a while I said, why am I taking this? I needed it for a while to rebuild. It's kind of like the receptors for androgen receptors, I guess. I guess my serotonin receptors.
Listen, you hit mania with ecstasy, and then when you stop it, you hit depression. This is bipolar, the instability, you know.
Yeah.
But if you stop taking that crap, then you're gonna go back to normal eventually.
I did. Yeah.
It's like taking too many stimulants before the gym, you know, and then when you run out of this, and you feel like a zombie, you know, for 2 days for the receptors to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, your body doesn't like to go up too high. It just doesn't, because then there's always a crash. There's always a rebound, a crash.
Yes.
So guys, that's up. I haven't been on them for many, many years. Here's a question about HGH dose. How is HGH dose measured? If I have a 36 IU with an insulin needle, I think he's talking about a pen, like one of those Pfizer pens.
You have to know the dilution. So how many ml in 36? 1, 2, 3? Because if it's 1, then 1/10 is 3.6.
3.6. Yeah, right.
If it's 1 ml. If it's 2 ml, then it's 1.8, etc.
Oh, it's just simple math that I would have issues with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it means how diluted or how concentrated is the solution of the pen.
Right. Yeah, that's why, you know, the pens are cool. If you can get them, they're expensive, but most people just get the bottles that have 10 IU's powder. You put 1 ml in there.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
it's
And
yes.
then the insulin needle, you know, 1, 2, 3.
Exactly.
You can get, then you draw.
But it matters how much water you put inside.
Yeah, you
This is the key factor.
1 ml of water into the bottle, and then you have 10 IU's of growth hormone. So then you can draw out, you know, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure some guys take the whole bottle. They shoot a whole 10 ml at once. Or 20. Who knows? I'm sure there's guys that do 20. Plenty of guys do 20, especially if they're not paying for it. Someone's giving it to them for free. Yeah. Imagine that. But so there you go. Dr. T, what are the best things to do while having high RBC is red blood cells and low iron level? Since I can't donate blood or double RBC unit, any options to help lower the high RBC?
It means that you give frequently blood and actually your iron falls. Ferritin also falls, so the iron stores. First the iron gets depleted and then the iron stores. So you need to get some red meat along with some chili peppers, you know, to absorb the vitamin C. Otherwise, take liquid or iron pills along with vitamin C, you know. But if you blood donate oftenly, then eventually you're going to get depleted out of iron. You're going to feel drained and fatigue.
Yeah, he says he can't donate blood. I don't know. Maybe he's got like a.
He shouldn't donate at this moment. He
Okay.
should not.
Yeah, so that would the things you said would lower the RBC count.
What lowers the iron is plenty of donation, or unless you have a bleeding in your GI tract, you know, ulcer or hemorrhoids, you know.
Right. Ouch. Okay. Here's a good question, because that's exactly what I do every morning is low dose Lipitor. What does Dr. T think of using a low dosage of Lipitor, 10 milligrams daily, while on a cycle to prevent lipid complications?
Not on a cycle, because you strain your muscles and you strain your liver because you overtrain with steroids. So Lipitor will give you rhabdomyolysis if you push it to the limit. You know, the best thing is to use it after the cycle when you have already the distortion of the lipids.
Yeah.
But you have to know that statins do not affect the HDL, and the aromatic index come out of the HDL also. So no matter how low you have your LDL and your total cholesterol, you need to keep up your HDL. And actually, steroids lower your HDL, doesn't think also lower HDL. Smoking does also, and lack of cardio too. And it's very stubborn to raise your HDL.
Yeah, 10 milligrams. That's what I use. That's a low dose because I think people go up to.
You're not into a heavy cycle. You know, you're not doing overkilling. You know.
Yeah, I mean, because I use that every day, year round. It's just a medication.
And actually, what cardiologists say over here is that take a statin if you have a history of a heart attack, you know, or you have already applied stent.
Right.
If you are a heart attack free, you know, so there's no use to use it precautiously. You can use some red rice yeast perhaps, but people with heart attacks, you know, or with ischemia or with angina pectoris, they should use a statin. All those that they have a stent.
What about if you have calcium though? Because that's why I started, because I was starting to get some calcium.
Calcium is a good scenario. I told you that calcium is stable, it's solid, it doesn't detach, it's not considered like the aromatic plaque that can detach the lipid cholesterol that is inside the lumen of the artery. You know, it can detach and make an embolism, you know, a thrombus.
Right, but eventually, if you have more and more calcium building up, your arteries will get.
Yes, it will occlude it finally. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But you know, the calcium score, I'm not sure if it's reversed by the statin, but it can be reversed by vitamin K too. Now, if you have a lipidotherma, which means the plaque, this can be reversed with the statin, which is inflammation.
Yeah, that's why, because O'Connor, that's why he told me.
Coronography, they put you a camera through your radial artery, you know, and they go up to the heart and you see where it's occluded, you know.
Yeah. Did I have that done? I think I had that done. Is that how they do a calcium score? I can't even remember how they did it.
Oh, there's another way. They put you in intravenous a radioactive material, and then they put you into the CT, the computer tomography, and they scan your heart. But it's not as accurate as putting the camera, you know, inside of it.
Yeah, I don't think I had a camera. I think I did that one with the dye.
Yeah, I also have this. Yes.
Okay. And our final question: can prolactin, after a DECA or trend cycle, return to normal levels without dopamine agonist medication? And how long will it take?
Well, it's up to each case, but I'm also taking a Dostinex once in a while when I randomly have a prolactin exam. It's elevated over 15 or 20. But again, I guess with stress and insomnia, it might catch up again, you know, and go from 5 again to 15. It's not something steady. It's up to so if you have hyperthyroidism, if you take opiates, if you take weed, SSRIs, insomnia and stress also. All right.
How often do you have blood work done? Sounds like you have it done fairly often.
Every month, yes.
Wow, that's ideal. I mean,
well, it's paranoid sometimes, but I want to have control of the things, you know, because, you know, I'm not a casual guy. I'm not a sedentary guy that just eats his food. So I want to have everything under control. I'm not taking risks, but for instance, I'll tell you, my tumor marker was elevated up to 4. It should be below 5. And I was panicked in the summer. And I assumed it was out of GH. So I did the month after was down to 3.5 and then down to 3. So I felt a relief, you know. So I wanted to know what was the cause. And I don't know, perhaps allegedly it was from the colonoscopy I had that they removed me a tiny tissue of polyp.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess it was irritated. I'm not sure about it. For instance, I panic if my total cholesterol is not below 180, you know, or my LDL is not below 200, you know, 100, I'm sorry, or my liver enzymes are not below 50, you know. I'm very, how you say, perfection.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But on the other hand, you become paranoid, and the medical society says this is not cool. You should check out every 6 months the most,
yeah,
because there are fluctuations.
true. What? So your tumor marker was a 4. Did it go down?
Yes, down to 3.
Okay.
Okay, and for smokers should be below 10. For non-smokers, below 5.
Hmm. You know that a lot of gear users, they don't get blood work because they don't want to know. They just rather not know.
Yes, we've said that they don't want to know, but eventually one day you may walk out and
You'll wake up dead, like the Megadeth song. Yeah, if you don't know, there could be something terrible going on that you're not doing anything to address.
well, prevention is better than the healing.
Absolutely. Would you rather not know, and then you could have prevented a heart attack or
Know it in the first stage,
Right.
so you have time to to heal it.
Right. Yeah. Guys, every 6 months. I think that's ideal. Blood work twice a year.
But you have insurance over there, that covers it.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I have my physical coming up next month, so we'll see what's going on.
But health is wealth.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I tell people all the time, all the money in the world wouldn't matter to you if you were very, very sick. You wouldn't care because your life would suck.
You see, Steve Jobs died of pancreatic cancer
Yeah,
at 59, 60, and he couldn't buy health even though
billions of dollars. Yeah. So I'm saying, guys, your health is your wealth. I know it sounds like an old cliche. You've been hearing it all your lives, but it's so true, so true. And you don't realize it unless you're unhealthy, unless you're very sick.
Even from a small cold, you feel miserable and weak.
Yeah.
Just a cold,
Yeah. COVID. Anyway, all right. Well, doctor, it's been another great show. Appreciate you being here as always, answering the questions from these people all around the world, doing a great service, because there's not many doctors who have your background as a competitive bodybuilder. You've used gear yourself and other PDs. You've treated many patients who have used these things, so you know all about it. So guys, we're very, very lucky to have Dr. George doing this show every week. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below. Check out his website, gtoul.com. And again, get that book. You can get it there or on amazon.com. This big thing called The Bible of Bodybuilding.
Oh, actually, I'm leaner now than the cover.
On the cover?
Yeah.
Ah.
I'm leaner, huh?
You should have waited to take the pictures.
This was 2 months ago.
Yeah, you've been dieting a long time, man. Woof. So yeah, and you can check out his daily progress on at Dr. George Suliatos, workouts, meals, all kinds of stuff on there. He's a well-rounded doctor, I gotta say. So everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos.
We'll have online tomorrow, online article, Q&A.
Okay, so that's another thing is Tuesday we put out a video every Tuesday, but a lot of times on the musculardevelopment.com website, Dr. George also releases a print article. What's this one about?
It's Q&As actually, yes.
That's another Q&A. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is when this comes out, guys, you can go check that out on musculardevelopment.com. Yeah. For those of you who like to read and watch, you got all the info coming at you. That's it. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next time right here on Ask Dr. Testosterone.